The Galactic Council had always viewed humanity with a mixture of curiosity and condescension. These newcomers to the cosmic stage were young, barely 3 centuries into their spacefaring era, yet they had spread across 47 systems with remarkable speed. Most species took millennia to achieve such expansion. Ambassador Kethvar of the Hegemony adjusted his ceremonial robes as he prepared to deliver what he considered a routine diplomatic protest. The humans had established a mining colony in the Kepler 442 system, which the Hegemony claimed as ancestral territory. It was a minor transgression, easily resolved through the standard channels of galactic diplomacy. "The colony will be removed," he announced to the human delegation aboard the neutral station orbiting Proxima Centauri. "We have given your species adequate time to comply with our territorial claims." Admiral Sarah Chen, Earth's representative, sat perfectly still across the polished table. Her dark eyes never left Kethavar's trilobed face. "That colony has been operational for 6 years. 12,000 civilians call it home." "Then they should have chosen their location more carefully," Kethvar replied with the casual dismissiveness his species was known for. "The Hegemony's claim predates your species' existence in space by 4,000 years. Show us the documentation." Kethvar's mandibles clicked in irritation. These humans always demanded proof, always questioned ancient rights that other species accepted without question. "The claim is recognized by the Council." "That is sufficient." Admiral Chen leaned forward slightly. "Counselor, I'm going to say this once, and I hope you're recording this conversation. If you attack that colony, Earth will respond with overwhelming force." The translator must have malfunctioned, Kethvar thought. No species of their size and age would dare threaten the Hegemony, whose fleets had dominated 3 sectors for millennia. "Your bravado is amusing," he said, rising from his seat. "You have 72 of your hours to evacuate the system." 3 days later, the Hegemony's 3rd Fleet arrived at Kepler 442. 24 capital ships, each one dwarfing the small human vessels that had responded to the colony's distress calls. The human fleet consisted of only 6 ships, clearly a token force meant to provide cover for an evacuation that never came. Admiral Chen's voice crackled across the comm channels as the Hegemony ships powered their weapons. "I warned you." The battle lasted 14 minutes. The human ships fought with desperate courage, but they were hopelessly outnumbered. When the last human vessel went dark, the Hegemony fleet turned their weapons on the colony itself. The bombardment continued for 6 hours, until nothing remained of New Geneva but radioactive dust. Kethvar watched the destruction from the flagship's bridge with satisfaction. Another primitive species had learned the price of defying the natural order. He dictated a report to the Council, confident that this would end any further human expansionism in Hegemony space. He never sent that report. The humans arrived 18 days later. Not dozens of ships or even hundreds. The sensors counted over 15,000 vessels emerging from hyperspace, ranging from massive dreadnoughts that made Hegemony capital ships look like shuttles, to sleek destroyers that moved through space like living things. But it was the flagship that made Kethavar's blood run cold. The UES Retribution was 1.5 kilometers long, bristling with weapons of designs the Hegemony's scientists couldn't identify. It had taken humanity less than 3 weeks to assemble this armada and cross 100 light years. "This is Admiral Chen of the United Earth Navy," came the transmission. "You have been found guilty of genocide against human civilians. Surrender now and you will be given the opportunity to stand trial." Kethvar's flagship commander looked to him for orders. The Hegemony fleet was outnumbered 60 to 1. In his species' 5,000-year history, they had never faced odds like these. We are willing to negotiate," Kethvar transmitted, his voice shaking. "The time for negotiation ended when you murdered 12,000 civilians," Admiral Chen replied. "You have 30 seconds to abandon ship." What followed was not a battle. It was an execution. The human fleet moved with precision that spoke of centuries of warfare, not the mere decades they had been in space. Their weapons tore through Hegemony shields like they were soap bubbles. Ships that had dominated battlefields for millennia were vaporized in seconds. But the humans weren't finished. Admiral Chen's fleet took position around Kepler 442's star. Massive ships that Kethvar now realized were not warships began their work. They deployed devices into the star's corona, machines that seemed to feed on stellar matter itself. "What are they doing?" whispered his science officer. The answer came 6 hours later. The star began to collapse. Not the gradual death of stellar exhaustion, but a controlled implosion guided by human technology. The fusion reaction spiraled inward, compressed beyond the point of stability. Kepler 442 went supernova. The shockwave reached the outer planets in hours, vaporizing everything in the system. The hegemony fleet, the human ships, the asteroid belt where New Geneva had once thrived, all of it consumed in an expanding sphere of nuclear fire. But Admiral Chen had transmitted one final message before the star died, broadcasting it on every frequency to every listening post within 50 light years. This star system died because the hegemony chose to murder human civilians. We gave them a chance to stand trial. They chose death instead. Any species that attacks human colonies, any government that sanctions genocide against our people will share this fate. We are humanity. We do not forgive. We do not forget. And we do not lose. The message reached the Galactic Council 3 weeks later. In the emergency session that followed, 43 species voted to formally recognize all human territorial claims. The hegemony's representative was notably absent. Their entire government had collapsed when news of the Third Fleet's annihilation reached their homeworld. Ambassador Kethvar survived, rescued by automated human recovery systems before the star died. He spent the rest of his life in a human detention facility, telling anyone who would listen the same warning over and over. They destroyed one star, but they built machines that could destroy them all. The galaxy listened.